Blessed to be Muslim. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us to die in the state of Islam. Asalaamu. Brothers, today for the benefit perhaps of the brothers that might not have been here, the topic of the khutbah was about dunya. The dunya. Be on guard against the dunya. And of course, we know the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna dunya khulwatun hadiratun. He said, verily this dunya, it's sweet and it's green, it's attractive. Wa inna allaha mustahlifukum fiha fayanduru kayfa ta'malun. And verily Allah is making you to succeed one another. He's making us the khalifas, one after another, to see what we're going to do. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave us the nasiha that most of us know. What did he say? Who can help me out? Huh? Anybody? Fataku. Huh? Say it, Maggie. Come on. Fataku dunya wataku nisa. Very important. Rasulullah said, so fear the dunya. Have taqwa of the dunya. Be on guard against the dunya. And also against the women. And this is very important. Nasiha, brothers. And inshallah, if I could, I want to share a story. And it might be just a little bit long, but there's many lessons that we can learn from the story. So I hope you'll be patient. And this story begins with a young man walking in the market. This young man, he's walking through a souk, the market. And all of a sudden he hears, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Which means it was time for what? It was time for Salat. The Muadhin was calling the people to Salatul Asr in the masjid. So this young man, he hears, and he turns in the direction of the masjid. And just as he turns to go in the direction of the masjid, his eye, it catches something. And what it was a woman. And this woman, she's dressed in black. She's got hijab. And all he could see is the backside of this woman. But he sees this woman, his eye catches this woman just for a split second. And in that one split second, it touches his heart. And he thinks, she's attractive. Brother, you got that flash on?
I don't know how to work.
Alhamdulillah. So he sees this woman just for a split second. In that split second, it does something to his heart. And he's looking at her longer than he should. And suddenly this woman, she turns around. Just for a moment. She turns around and looks at him, looking at her, and she does like this. She gives him a nod like this. And then she goes on her way. And that's all it took. This young man, he started to go towards the masjid, but when this woman did that, what do you think he did? He started going after this woman, behind this woman. And so he starts following her through the souk. And he's wondering the whole time that he's following her, who is she? What does she want with me? Why did she do like that? So he's following this woman. And the adhan continues, but this young man, he's hooked. He's following behind this woman. So this woman, she goes through the people that sell the oils. And still she keeps going. And then she turns. But before she turns, she looks back. And who does she see behind her? This young man, yes. And she looks at him one more time, and then she keeps going. So this young man, he starts speeding up. Because he wants to catch up to this woman, this mysterious woman. He hasn't seen nothing, just the backside, because like I said, she's covered. She's got niqab, she's got hijab, she's got the jalabiyah. She's covered, but still there's something about her. So he keeps on following. So now they're walking through the people that sell the pots, and then they go past the people that sell the clothes, and then they go past the people that sell the jewelry, and still he's following her. Now it's getting later, but he's following this woman all throughout the city. And just before she gets just out of sight, she always turns back to make sure he's still there. And he's always there. And she always does something to make him see. She sees me. She wants me to follow her. So he goes on following her. Now they start getting further and further away from where they started. And pretty soon, they come to the outskirts of the city. And what's on the outskirts of the city? What's usually on the outskirts of the city? The cemetery. The cemetery. So now he's following her to the cemetery. And to anybody else, they would have stopped and said, hey, what's going on here? Why would she be going to the cemetery? Why did she want me to follow her to the cemetery? Anybody else would have stopped and thought. But subhanAllah, what is this young man thinking? He's thinking in his heart, and he's thinking, people, they've gotten together in stranger places than this. People have gotten together in stranger places than this. The cemetery. So now he hears again, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. SubhanAllah, now it's time for Maghrib. And still he's following behind this lady. So they start walking through the cemetery, and he's getting closer to her now. And then he sees her stop in front of one of these mausoleums. Everybody knows what a mausoleum is? That's those fancy places where they put the coffins on top of the ground. Everybody knows what I'm saying? So he sees her. Huh? Yeah, it could be like a family plot. And he sees this young lady go into this place. And what does he do? He follows her into this crypt. And when he gets into the crypt, now he sees that she's gone down. Down. This crypt, apparently it has levels. Like Magdi had told me before, in Egypt, the mausoleums, they have levels. So he follows her down. And now he sees he's in darkness. But he sees a little bit of light. A little bit of light. So he goes towards the light. And he enters a room. And when he enters the room, what does he see? This lady. And she's sitting down just like I am right here. On the opposite side of the wall. So he walks in. And she's still covered. But now she speaks. And she says to him, come in. Come in and close the door. Close the door and bring the key. So this young man, now he's a little nervous. Now he's a little nervous. She's saying, come in and close the door. But look where he's at. So then she says, come on, do it. You already missed Salat. You already missed Salat for me. You want to please me, don't you? So this young man, what does he do? He closes the door. And he brings the key. And in front of this lady, there's like a hole there. A hole right there, and it's like a well. There's water in there. And she says, bring the key and throw it in there. So now this young man, now he's starting to really have reservations. Now he's starting to think, wait a minute, what's going on here? But she says, come on, you're about to see me. Do it. So what does he do?
I hope he ran.
He didn't.
He did not run.
He brings the key and he lets it go into the water. So now he's stuck. So now she gets up. And she says, now it's time for you to see me. So she picks up the niqab. And he's waiting to see this beautiful young lady, a mysterious lady, because he just knew she would be beautiful. And what does he see? An old lady. And she's wrinkled up and she's dark and she's ugly. And she says, yes, I'm yours. I'm Dunya. I'm Dunya. And you finally caught up to me. You finally caught up to me in your grave. And the light goes out. So subhanAllah. Brothers, we should reflect. This is the dunya. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَاتَّقُوا الدُّنْيَا وَاتَّقُوا النِّسَاءَ. Be on guard on the dunya and be on guard against an-nisa, the women. And this is very important. We need to remember this, brothers. The dunya, she's a betrayer. The dunya is unfaithful to all of her lovers. The dunya is unfaithful to all of her lovers. And what will she do to the lovers, her lovers in the end? She'll leave them. She'll leave them. Where? In al-qabr, in the grave. The dunya is not going to go in there with you. We're going to go in there by ourselves. So brothers, let's remember the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, فَاتَّقُوا الدُّنْيَا وَاتَّقُوا النِّسَاءَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He warned us and He said, كَلَّا بَلْ تُحِبُّونَ الْعَاجِلَةَ وَتَذَرُونَ الْآخِرَةَ. Nay, but you love this short life right here, and you neglect your akhirah. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to give our full strength towards working for the akhirah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us and save us from this dunya. Jazakallah.